Hello, everybody. Good evening. Dr. Rao here. Thanks for joining me. This been very busy all day, but I found time now, and I just want to come and chat with you and share some things that were going on with my life. You know, let me see. Somebody wants to come in right off the bat. Stephanie.
Hey, Dr. Rao.
Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
Good. What are you doing?
Well, I'm just coming to chat with you guys.
Cool.
Yeah. Busy all day, so I thought I will join today now after having a evening cup of tea and a nice cup of salad too. So, so what are you up to? What is going on with you, Stephanie?
I'm just talking to my friend on Facebook,
Hmm.
listening to you.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I just come here once in a while just to share some things with people and also if I can help anything. I was just finishing a book titled Healthcare Disruptors because I feel our healthcare needs a lot of revolution, like so that more patients can be helped and then more services are available, that kind of thing. For that, I think we all have to, chip in a little bit and change a little bit. That's what I was writing about. So, uh,
Hmm.
don't you think that we need disruption in our healthcare delivery service and everything?
I think that we should have universal health care so pharmaceutical companies will stop torturing people and making money off of it.
Yeah, that they're one of them, but the insurance companies also, right? They kind of take the, all the premiums, but when they come to service, they kind of ration. So it's really frustrating to us as doctors. We don't want to give cheap medications and all that, but sometimes they make us do that. you know, that's why we get angry
Yeah,
with
they
them.
like pay the doctors to like write extra medications and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, lot of selling is there, like we use our drugs and all that. Yeah, they kind of don't do proper job in that. So we kind of fight with them, but lots of times we spend time on talking with the insurance company or the drug companies to get the medications my patient needs. Sometimes they change the
Yeah.
medication brand too. They say we don't pay for this. You have to get a cheaper brand, and that doesn't work for them. So they come back and complain. My blood sugar was controlled, but now it is not controlled with this new medication. That kind of thing.
Yeah. Like Operation Paperclip.
Yeah, yeah. It is kind of. But we need that though. After working so many years as a doctor, I have seen that quite abuse. It is getting worse. It's not getting better. So that's what I was writing about. Uh, so this in this book, I was addressing not just the insurance companies and drug companies. That is there, but other things like physicians themselves, health systems themselves, and patients themselves. What we could do in this modern era of a lot of information available. We could pay more attention to what is happening in the medical breakthroughs, scientific breakthroughs, and also dig in some yesteryear's wisdom that we could use to keep ourselves healthy. What I was attracted to ancient wisdom was they were living very close to the nature, Mother Nature, and also the nature in their body. So they were following their body clocks much better than we modern people do. They were eating only when they were hungry. They were sleeping very well during the night without these entertainments, these devices that we have. So I kind of revert back to natural things as much as possible. That way our health is much better protected. Eat when you are hungry, sleep when you are sleepy, and also give enough time to unwind from this uh, pace and speed of the modern life. Especially with information overload, we are really gearing up the mind in a way that's not healthy for us. I think most of you guys understand that what I'm talking about. So, if you have any comments about that, come up and talk to me. Otherwise, I will tell you more of the contents of this book. This book starts out with how uh, the whole healthcare system has become very expensive for any nation, and poor outcomes, chronic diseases, and all that. And we had to fight the food industry, we had to fight the restaurant industry, we had to fight a lot of television industry because they make people more sedentary, right? People sit down and watch, and then they're not active. See, the health principle of moving the body and keeping the mind silent unless you need it has really gone the topsy turvy. People don't move that much as they used to because of the creature comforts and all that. And also, they think a lot unnecessary because we have so much stimuli, right, from outside, 24 hours TV and all that. So, looking all that, I kind of examined how the ancient people used to be sharp in their mind and very, fit in their body, and they're also thinking about other people quite a lot, and they're heartful too. So they were living a better, more related, harmonious life with their families, with other people, and the animals and the plants than we are striving to be now. But in the process, we kind of made the earth suffer, and look at the toxic weather that we are seeing. And it's going to get worse if we continue the same thing. So my focus is on how can we really do some disruption from individual patient behavior to physicians' awareness of more wellness practices, health systems themselves. That's what I was addressing in this book. It's a ebook. It's being almost done. In that book, the disruptors are many, so I was explaining all of that. So that's how I was busy with something. And I was also attending some AI classes. One of them that caught my eye was how can we generate a AI digital mini business card? What is unique about them was it kind of gives all the information in a nutshell, and it gives hyperlinks like that they can go and see what is my profile on LinkedIn, for example, and also go and see what are my posts on the Facebook, any number of things that we can put in there, and that is very easy for people to follow. you know that's what I was doing all afternoon also, and that was very exciting to see that AI Dizzy mini card. He showed us how to do it without being a coder. You know, Actually, ChatGPT or Cloud, anything you can select, and then you can ask it to write the code. Like with the prompts, it will write the code, and then it will generate what is needed, and you can copy it and put it there. So that was really exciting. I don't know anything about coding, right? But I was able to follow along and then do a lot of stuff. I was very excited. That's my project now. How can I create a AI digital mini business card? You know, it's not like before just put some links and all that. It's a much more. It gives your services. It gives your availability. It gives your Calendly also, so that if you click on that, and it will go to the Calendly and make you see what is available and book the whatever appointment you want. That kind of thing. So that was my mini excitement this afternoon when I looked at the digital mini card. What else is happening? Yeah, I was really following along with the weather events that is really causing so much suffering around the world. And I was always worried about Earth and the weather since the 1980s. I've been following all these earth meets and people meet in Geneva or several places, just to discuss what is going on and what we're going to do. And they made so many promises so many times, but then they promote this consumer culture everywhere, which is really causing a lot of damage to the weather. And they never try to do complete recycling and all that, right? And now we reached a point where it may be irreversible, and that concerns us, right? So I pay a lot of attention to that and go organizations and help them to understand better now. One thing I always say is J. Krishnamurti was very active in the sphere also, and he said, unless there is a revolution in the consciousness of people and understand this, more aware of it, we will not be able to reverse this. Not only be conscious, but also be transformative enough to really act consciously, well, so that, for example, plastic, we still continue to use it even though it is causing a lot of damage. And then people use it as though there's no tomorrow, you know. So that kind of thing, and also polluting the waters, polluting the air, and all those things are going on. Okay, that's another thing I have been spending a lot of time on. Going to organizations where they're providing new, innovative techniques of how we can, protect our atmosphere if we could. You know. So, of course, I am into my proactive wellness, which I do in the morning. I do a morning session where you can prepare your body, mind, and heart for the work. See, what I see is many people go to the work without preparing their body and mind, and they kind of jump into the work and then not trading the body's energy or fitness. And also young people may be okay with that, but young people do not take care of their mind, and they go to the work and they have a lot of mini insults or mini surprises, whatever, or they imagine many dangers, and then they kind of react sympathetically. That is fight or flight syndrome. That means they imagine dangers where dangers are not there, and then they allow the mind to react like that, and that is slowly building up the stress. So in the morning routine, what I did was, okay, you exercise and stretch and have the deep breath. That's one thing that will make you less reactive. And also be in the present. Cultivate the spirit of being in the present and carry that attitude towards the whole day, and then you are much better off wasting not wasting negative thinking energy and all that, right? So by being in the present in the morning, you have more chances of continuing that through the day, you know. And also just to watch your thoughts. If they should disturb you, if you are doing a focus on a particular task and you are having too many thoughts, and usually people follow them or react to them, or they get carried away. That is happening more with the kids also, because the attention deficit is really getting much more evident these days. So what I'm saying is, get up in the morning, spend maybe half an hour or 45 minutes, whatever you can afford, apart from getting ready and all that. Take deep breaths, stretch your body, in a ways. It could have any system. I use yoga, but you can have Pilates, you can have Kaigong, or you can have any number of systems, right? Or you can walk, or whatever you appeals to you. But basically, stretch the body and deep breath, and then you can be getting the body ready at the same time, calming the mind, getting into the present moment, and carrying it to the work. You see, I see people who are stressed out, who are burnout, but many times this is what is happening. They are not understanding how the modern society has become more like a do, 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 always doing stuff, not about enough time spending with our being too. And that's what I focus on. There's no problem doing stuff, provided you are stable within and you are kind of balanced within. That's what happens with your deep breathing. So in the morning, you cultivated the deep breathing, you cultivated being in the present, and during the day, just to take 1 minute every hour. Sit down and deep breathe and get yourself to the present moment. And forget about whatever you have done that far so that you can focus on the next task. That's what I do. Each patient I see, I pay complete attention. The patient is happy because I'm with him completely. I'm listening to him. I'm understanding what he's saying. I'm kind of explaining to him what is going on with him. So he's happy because I'm completely focused on him. And he can sense it because the way our body language and the way we listen and respond to the questions right away, and we don't really make them repeat things. All those things make them realize that I am with them, right? Any job you take, any job you take, you completely focus on the task. I am not for the multitasking because that has become really problems with attention, right? So whatever you do complete attention. That's what I say. The mantra in clinic is uh, pay attention to every action. Whatever you do, you could have planned some things you wanted to do certain way, but when you do the actual tasks, each task pay complete attention. So that's my mantra. Pay attention to every action, right? And then you'll have spent no energy warding off the multiple thoughts or negative thoughts or reactions and all that. That's conservation of a lot of energy. Many people ask me, my staff, my patients, everybody asks me, Doctor, how is that you have energy at the late hour too after seeing so many patients? Because I don't allow my energy to be depleted. It's as it may sound too much, but then really, if you look at it, take 1 day of yours and see how much energy you have spent on your reactions, your conclusions, your concepts, your irritations, or your unnecessary expenditure in negative behavior. All that goes out, and also the gossip, and also taking interest into all sorts of things except our own work, right? So when you approach the work with that kind of attention and complete focus, and you actually get feedback from the work done well, or other people are appreciating whatever, those feedbacks are very important for people not to be stressed out, burned out in modern working conditions. Don't be mechanical. Whatever, even if you do assembly, you can do it with focus, with challenges that you could create for yourself mildly. Maybe suppose you are doing only 10 packages that hour, you can say I'm going to do, maybe you go to 12 or 15. That is a challenge, right? You can be like that, so you can keep yourself bringing back to the present moment and focusing and getting feedback from that too. One of the things I notice with my doctors colleagues are they don't pay the one of the uh, benefits we have is our interaction with the patient could be very valuable to us. We could get the feedback, we could understand us better and all that. But also, they show a lot of affection, lot of love when they really feel that you cared for them. You wanted their wellness is the priority for you, and technicality, excellence in knowledge, all those are important, but how you are as a human being, I think that matters a lot. And many of the modern trainings don't pay attention to that, and then a lot of people are getting stressed out because they are losing this valuable aspect of medical care. I valued that very much. So in the morning, because I was very fond of EMRs and I learned it, that helped me a lot to do all the patient work very quickly, right? And then in the afternoon, I have time, and I was able to go back to the bedside and spend time not only with the patient but also patient relatives. Many of them come to visit there. So that habit of making, I used to make 3 rounds First round is for any emergencies, anything that need to be done right away and all that. I'm an internal medicine physician, right? So that is some referrals have to be made, or somebody has to send to a nursing home, somebody has to be discharged, all those things. I attend many of them, and then formal real rounds which take like a 45 minutes to 1 hour, 15 minutes, something like that. And after all done, then the lunch. After lunch, I have time to go back to my emergencies if arise, or admissions if they come, or go to the bedside of the patients and talk to them and just find out what's going on, interact with them and all that. That used to help a lot because they have a lot of doubts, and then once you answer them, they were very happy. When they are happy, we are happy, and that is really my feedback. They don't have necessarily have to admire us or do anything. We are not looking for that. We are looking for good patient experience and good outcomes for them, right? So when you are oriented that way, you have satisfaction that you have served your patient better, right? And then the patient gets better. You have done your job. That kind of feedback. I think any job you can do like that. So in the morning routine, I always tell people we're going to do four things. First one is stretch your body, and along with the stretch, breathe deep. So you become more aware, but align yourself, your body, breath, and brain. Two A's and three B's I tell. Two A's are awareness and alignment. Three B's are alignment of your body, breath, and brain. Just take a few moments like that and do them with the present moment awareness, and doing this stretching and breathing and keeping your mind on the reactions the body and the mind are feeding back to you. You stretch, and if there is pain, you want to stop. Otherwise, you feel like I can stretch more, you can do more of that. What happens is all the tension, especially in the morning, once you get up and then you do simple stretches and get the tension down, you're more flexible, more strong, and then do that. We also do serious asanas for people who come to me to my wellness club with specific problems. Somebody may want to improve their back. Somebody may want to improve their knee pain. Somebody may want to improve their diabetes. Somebody wants to come opposed to cardiac, workout and all that. So according to their needs, I adjust the asanas and breathing and everything for them. Many people come because they are stressed out. They want to relax. They want to really not to be a victim of the headaches or lack of sleep or whatever they are suffering from, right? But in the morning routine that I do every day in the morning for all you people is about stretching and deep breathing and being in the present and watching the thoughts. If you learn to watch the thoughts and be in that present moment awareness, you will help yourself a lot in this era of information age. So I'm an informatician. I deal with information, big data, and all that. Enormous amounts of information. But I don't let that influence me because I have learned this habit of dumping every so often. So don't carry any of the unnecessary information from a meeting. Learn the insights, jot them down, then forget about it. Okay, once you learn to dump unnecessary information, your mind is fresh. You can do deep breathing for a while if you want to, or you can just change activities from okay, going and seeing the patients. You just get out and then go around the hospital, walk, or take a cup of tea, or whatever appeals to you, right? But changing jobs like you are documenting one time, or you're dictating other time, and you are conversing with your colleagues, those kind of things really help you to not to accumulate so much of unnecessary information within you. That is the information overload that is causing the brain fog, that is causing poor attention and memory and all that. So, and also try to do stuff rather than just thinking it over or doing all of that. That's fundamental, I think. So by being in the present, by taking deep breaths, by paying a really attention to the detail and all that, you are going to attend to your being, how it is responding. Are you seeing somebody needing help and you go and do a random act of kindness, like, or all those things, plenty of opportunities. When you have the I, I'm going to reach out and help them a little bit, many occasions are there in the hospital for us, and I kind of allow myself to be available for the service. That's the service mentality, service leadership, which I teach for the corporation leaders. I employ it in my patient care. I'm the leader of the patient care for the whole team, right? So I want to provide that service. That means put the other people's needs ahead of yours, and that helps a lot. Okay, so morning routine is constructed because I see many people don't move their body as much, and also many people let their mind run a lot. That is the culture too, right? People think it's a good time just to sit down and watch a marathon of Netflix and all that. Then you're doing two bad things. You are making the body immobile, you are making the mind very mobile. That's not good for you. Okay, so reverse that all the time. But suppose you are exhausted, you want to relax, you want to enjoy a musical or whatever, you want to sit down and enjoy a movie. Enjoy that movie completely, but don't make it like a mental habitual thing, but more like a consciously chosen activity where you want to sit down and enjoy the movie. That's fine. Okay, I'm talking about this habit of laying in the sofa, which is very bad for our back anyway. Like I'm sitting on the stool now here. So this is examining tool also. We brought some of the couple of them at home. Ergonomic furniture is very important, and many people, even in the hospitals, they provide these sofas for people to lie down or sit down and all that. That causes a lot of problems to our body. So keep the body moving. That's a fundamental. And keep the mind silent as much as possible, except that what you have to do, use that. Otherwise, be in the present moment. Don't let it wander around all over. If you can do this too, and you have a foundation for that in the morning, then you do much better during the day. So if you have sensation about this, then you take active exercise, active breathing, and focusing on things. Why I prefer yoga is yoga gives you not only tone of the muscles if you want to, or really flexibility if you want to, or focus, concentration, and balance. It addresses all these things. So if you do them in the morning, it's much better for your stiffness in the body, and you will get rid of. You can do a variety of asanas according to the age group, according to gender, according to what's the functional status you have, all that, right? All that matters. But then general stretching and breathing and being in the present and watching the thoughts, that is important. And then you can cultivate attitude of I'm going to go out there and provide a service. That's one thing. And I'm going to not to react to everything. This is a big deal because the reaction kind of cultivates the sympathetic nervous system activation, right? When you have a danger and you are active appropriately, that's when that system is supposed to kick in. But many people imagine dangers, or they were present, or they were scared. So they may some may threaten, unless you complete this project, you are not going to be in this job. That's a threat for their livelihood, for their everything, family. Then they will be worried and they will react like that. But if you cultivated deep breathing, your parasympathetic nervous system is activated, which acts as an antidote to the sympathetic overtone. It's as simple as that. So you want to recruit the deep breathing as a tool for you to handle the little stresses, and then you won't have so much. So don't react to trivial things, small things. Somebody said something, and people worry about it a lot. My sister also was complaining this morning because she had some tiff with her daughter, and she said something, and she was So I asked her, when did this happen? Oh, a couple of days ago. Then why are you still sitting on that? So you want to let it go. And that is not clinging to those trivialities, is what yoga taught me. So ever fresh, always want to face what is in front of you. If you are like that, that's much better for the work and also for yourself, right? So deep breathing is that important, right? And then once you have not reacted, the second thing you want to cultivate is, what is the service I am providing in this job? You may be paid for it, that's okay. But then, what kind of work I'm doing? What kind of quality I'm bringing to the work? That's very, very important. So, cultivating a service attitude is very important, not only in our profession, many professions, right? And then the third thing is, can I be equanimous when I win, when I lose? That's a cultural thing. And then if you accept that and then say, okay, I was not able to do very well on this is a loss, but I'm going to learn from that so that the loss won't be without anything. I have learned the lesson of doing well, and then I'm going to continue that. So those are the seven principles. I'm going to repeat again. Four things you do, three attitudes you take. Four things are stretching or doing some exercise, deep breathing for sure, and then being in the present moment. And actually, you have to cultivate that. When you're doing a stretch, you just focus your attention on the breath, on the sound, on the touch of the air coming in and out. That way, you are rooted to the present moment. And also be aware of the sensations, be aware of what your thinking is affected or not. Of course, that's the third thing. And the fourth thing is, always try to be the watcher of the thoughts. That means you have created a gap between you and the thoughts. That's much better than identifying the thoughts and going along with it. Okay, hi Mark. So that really helps you a lot. And the last three to cultivate the attitude are: don't react to trivial things, cultivate a service attitude, and take things, wins and losses equanimously. Okay, these seven principles based on which I developed this morning routine. It's not that people don't know about this, but I just want to remind them every day morning, which is helpful for me, helpful for everybody too. So there are deeper things we go after, but then at least if the day is started better, and you are more likely to continue that. And there is an underlying resilience you develop. Okay, and in the night when you come home, suppose you have reacted a series of and then you have come home and you want to review them, unwind yourself, and then before you go to bed, go through the entire day in reverse order from evening to the morning and say, okay, I was reacting for these situations like this, and then examine, are they trivial, are they important, are they significant? If they are trivial, dump them right away. But if they are important, write them down on a device, on a paper, and then leave them for the night at least, because they're already recorded. You don't have to remember everything about it, and you can get up in the morning. They are the important ones, right? So that's what I recommend to people. Get up in awareness, be in the present, cultivate that present moment awareness through the day. If you have to react something, review them at the end of the day and finish them off. This is how I keep my mind fresh. So that's what I'm relating to you also. Anybody has any questions or any comments? Please come up and tell me what is that you do in the morning that is working for you, so that I can know, is there anything else we have to incorporate in this. Okay. I see some people I don't know, so I'm following them. Okay. Yeah, you can come up and ask me anything if you want to. Any questions, anything you have. Um, I have a few more minutes here, but basically, I come up like this on and off and talk about smaller things or bigger things according to what is interesting for the people. So I do come on other rooms also just to talk to them. So I'm inviting you guys here to come and participate, so that I can answer your questions if you have any. I hope you'll have a good uh, day tomorrow when you get up and do that. And hopefully I'll see you all in other rooms too, and participate in those discussions too. Okay. Thank you, and I'll be seeing you again tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock Central Time. That way you can always, Mark, come up. I have not talked to you for a while. So Mark has been there. Yeah, let me chat with him what he's doing. Hi, Mark.
Hey, I've been on vacation. I just heard you for a few minutes as I sometimes I go on this app and I click on your presentation. I hear a few things and then I'm off doing whatever else. But I look thing. I just wanted to say real sincerely, you've got 15 other people on here besides myself.
Yeah,
So people will have known this already and listened to you, but your stuff is terrific.
yeah,
You just make sense. It's sense that unfortunately it's not super popular.
yeah.
Common sense, right? If you
That's
think
okay. I
you
don't
listen
look for
to
the
it,
popularity, Mark. I look for how can I present the truth as I know it. you know?
yeah, it's great. What's frustrating, I think I told you I want to write a book
Yeah,
and it covers stuff you talk about all the time, but it's like I'm hesitant because it's like you've got to figure it out. Your
yeah,
stuff is consistently good,
yeah,
and if people practice what you say,
yeah,
they'd be happy, which is the ultimate goal.
yeah,
Productivity will follow from happiness, but
yeah,
if you kind of see things the right way, then it's easier to more easy to
yeah,
act the right way. So it's not. It's just interesting to me that I've listened to you a dozen times or more, and it's always like I'm nodding my head saying, "Boy, he's got it figured out. This is
yeah,
great." Um, and it's like people that have these huge audiences
yeah,
make less sense and they're inflammatory. They stir up emotions because of this or that. And
yeah,
it's noisy and not signal, and it's just fun. Anyway, so
yeah,
keep doing what you're doing. It's great. I
yeah,
love when I get a chance to hear your advice.
yeah,
The other thing I was going to say is I've thought about like self improvement a lot over the decades,
yeah.
and I've come back to we should all start small and focus on the little things like
hmm
practice, micro habits, and
Yeah,
little things like what you said about doing in the morning and
yeah,
having these lists. They're
yeah.
really helpful.
Very
That's the
helpful.
way to do it, not these big aspirations for
Yeah,
revolutionary change, but little steps to
yeah.
lead to bigger things.
Yeah, my main focus, Mark, is the people who are stressing out, burning out, come to me for big sessions and all of this. All fine, I'll provide that. But what I wanted to help people is if they are not noticing what are the small things that they could do that they were not doing and allowing these stresses and everything built up and then
Yes.
the whole problem is like I'm going to leave as a doctor, I'm not going to live, I'm going to commit, that kind of thing is happening. So I am into the proactive wellness where you are going to be actively pro about your wellness. This is part of that. Yeah, you can come back if you want to, Mark. So that's what I'm focusing on. I'm on how we can be in this day and age with all our scientific breakthroughs and everything that we understand. So, for example, Angelina Jolie had a breast mastectomy because she knew the genetical background and all that. That may seem extreme for people, but actually, if you look at her from her life point of view, that's the thing to do. From that extreme to really not selling, sold by the fast foods and all the processed food. People are doing that, and then and when they're in the 40s, they are getting the diabetes and not able to control it, and a lot of suffering. So good habits that are cultivated And also, we are taking the proactive attitude towards wellness is something we need to do in this age of our learning, our understanding about things. What do you think?
100%.
Yeah,
Yes. This whole thing about the healthcare,
mm,
everyone understands healthcare is a huge issue, and
yeah,
there's a bunch of ill health,
mm,
and there's trillions of dollars spent on healthcare.
yeah,
You could spend a small fraction
mm,
if you could get people to adopt proactive things.
yeah.
It would be a fraction of what we spent on the back end.
Absolutely,
Started
absolutely.
on the
That's
front.
right. And know that money we can spend for our kids' education, research, or comforts and all so many things. And the other problem is people are losing valuable quality of life. You
Right.
see, that's what I want to be an example. So even though I'm 69, I don't have any medications because of the lifestyles, you know and maybe everybody cannot be doing like a yogi lifestyle, but they can do little things, and people are trying striving very hard, but they are getting so much of pressure from the culture, like you have to eat all you can eat and all this junk food and all that. That's kind of very taking toll on people's health. That's why as a physician, giving back is what my understanding is. What are the little things can help? That's why this effort.
That's great. Thanks again, and
Yeah.
I'll tune back in at some point and we can talk some more. Thanks.
Sure, Mark. Thank you for coming up. Nice to see you. So, yeah.
Nice to hear you. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Many of the chronic illnesses, once they get hold of you, the outcomes are poor. Why can't we wise up and see how they are developing, if they are genetically there, and if you have some inability to not able to eat proper food, those kind of things we can understand. But if you are in a country like United States and you have a lot of resources and lot of people, they talk about freedom, they talk about not being freedom both ways, right? But you have to make your own independent choice. So the more informed you are, the more aware you are, the more you can be proactive, right? And also, a lot of people are brainwashed about things that are not good for them. So that's why this proactive wellness is something that can not only help them to be healthy, but also to be healthy for a long time, and also to be healthy and joyful in their life, not suffering and staying. Like many of the elderly people, they are maintained on medications in a nursing homes, so their life has no quality of life majority of the time. We're trying to work hard with that. But what I am saying is, why are we lamenting at the end of that? Why can't we do some commonsensical things in the beginning? So that, even in this app, no app, many of these coaches come and they talk about nutrition, they talk about exercise, they talk about relaxation, meditation, all that. I think that's a good service. That's why I go and support those coaches whenever I can. But generally, I like that momentum and the wellness. That's from the previous wisdom to Noom Vibe. They went and they have promoted this. I try to spend as much as I can, even in the middle of the day. If I get a few minutes, I come and talk with these coaches and encourage them, and also contribute whatever I can do. I think we should do more of that. This walking, all those things are very important, and people have to have those habits nurtured. But I'm going a little deeper. When I talk proactive wellness, do you know your history? Do you know your family history? Do you know your genome? Even to that extent, do you know what you maybe uh, propensity for developing this, like for example diabetes runs in your family, and then your diet is from the grandmother, the same thing continue. Like in our house, rice was the staple food, and they make different varieties of delicious rice preparations, and we eat only rice with a little curries as child. Then you are more likely to develop diabetes. So the thing is to understand that, and from the beginning, let them eat rice little and then vegetables, fruits more, that kind of thing. So understanding your own history, your own family history, your propensity for diseases, and being proactive about what to do about it. Not to say, oh, I cannot change, I'm like this, or I'm going to change later on. Many of the times, what happens is people are caught up in the doing work, 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 and they don't have enough time, or they don't have enough healthcare workers helping them, and everybody is in a rush, right? They don't have the time to sit down and explain these things. Now the coaches and all these people have come, which is good. So okay. So the coaches also help you to really determine what's good for you, and also help you to implement that. So all that is important. But patients themselves have to take responsibility for their wellness and act proactively so that they can be here for long, enjoy their grandkids, and also be active and really joyful life, not like a miserable life just surviving. I kind of do everything even now, and I do go upstairs and downstairs and all that, which is good. I enjoy myself. I'm trying to contribute to the medical field as a whole by promoting this proactive wellness. I work with the health systems. I'm working with the health executives, and then bringing this. Everybody looks at the revenue point of view. That's a major problem with the healthcare is we kind of made a revenue-based system versus really make it right for everybody. I really want that democratization happen, especially with artificial intelligence, everything. Now I'm doing a lot of things in artificial intelligence for my company. I don't have to spend money on so many people, which is a good thing. Then I can really spread the message to many people. That's all I want to just make an impact about understanding of healthcare, understanding of healthcare system, understanding of what we can do from patients to doctors to insurance companies and all. That's why I'm writing that book. Healthcare disruptors. What are those? What can be done? All that. Hopefully, people will be more into it, more active with it. As somebody who has worked there for more than 40 years, I just want to give back to the system something that can help the system from within, and also help the people who are the consumers of the healthcare system. Okay. I think I spoke too much today, apparently. But anybody else want to come up? You can come up. Somebody came up and was not able to stay there. Okay. All right then. I'm happy I was able to say what I wanted to say today. So I will see you again tomorrow morning in my morning routine hour. Okay, 8 o'clock to maybe 8:45, something like that. Okay, Central Time. I live in Iowa, so I come on Central Time. Okay, thank you, and I'll see you again tomorrow.